What do you think of when you hear the word engraving? Is it something like chipping out a design in stone, or maybe even using a chisel to carve something out of wood? Maybe it's even lasers. But I bet you didn't think about sandblasters. Get ready to meet this father-son duo who specialize in using a sandblaster to do their engraving. I'm Mike Price, and this is Mike's Makers.
I'm Wayne Hubbard.
I'm Kolton Hubbard.
And we're sand carvers. Well, it's kind of a unique process. It's a little bit different than your typical engravers do. Engravers will go in, they don't have a template they always follow. The machine will actually follow that template. What we do is we create a template and then we use sand in a blasting system to carve away the material within that design. We've pretty much built this from the ground up. I need to maintain about 4 cubic feet a minute on the sandblaster. I decided to bring it in through the house, but I use a water separator here and an oil separator to keep as much out of the house as possible. This is normally in next to my cabinet, but this is the HEPA filter. It's a Minuteman. It's hands down the most expensive piece of equipment that I own. Even the air compressor costs less than the shop vac does to take out the HEPA filtration on it. So from there, it comes into the system after it passes through 3 other filters. And then I split it off. From there, goes to my cabinet through this, which is my regulator for this cabinet alone. I have a little cabinet in there that we run off of another airline that its pressure is regulated there because every cabinet uses a different pressure, every material takes a different pressure. So I can adjust this here with just a matter of moving my hand down and adjusting everything fine-tuning. Once it comes into there, I used a hand shut-off valve here because I hated the one inside the cabinet grabbing it all the time and fiddling with it, and then my line fills with sand, so the first minute I'm waiting for the sand to get out of the line. Here I shut it off before what they call a pressure pot. This is what they call a pressurized sand pot. You take this off, we use a filtration system to filter out all our sand. We put about 40 pounds worth of material into here. Sucks it out of the bottom, blows up into my nozzle, which is another handmade nozzle. I can get the detail of a laser engraver using sand. I work with mainly rocks. I do glass, I do metal. We do pendants down to 1 inch. We do seashells. I've done plastic, wood, meteorites, granite, you name it. We have probably tried to etch on it. We've got probably 9 going right now of people wanting to memorialize their mom, their dad, their grandpa, their aunts, their uncles, their sisters, brothers, and things like that. The ones that create me the most heartache is when I'm doing a child or a baby. This is what the first step of the blast system looks like if it gets up there. There it is. You can see how much actually sand. Now I've got the stream I'm looking for. Let's see how that's glowing at the end of my finger.
Oh yeah.
That is the usable zone that gives you the best blast. When I grab this, I grab it by the tape and I start at a straight angle away. Give it a quick blast over the top of what I'm etching. And then I can kind of go in and make the design pop a little bit. And the same thing away, I twisted that away in my blast away. Flip it upside down. Shut my nozzle off. And then I put in here my own little air valve so that I can clean off any extra sand before it comes out of here. And now she can open up. And I'll show you how easy that peels real quick. If I had fingernails. I only miss those when I go to peel stones. And there.
Oh wow. That's all it took.
That's all it took. I started out using a Tupperware canister that had 2 holes cut out in it using dishwasher gloves and air eraser from Harbor Freight, and making templates with little plastic vinyl, which didn't work so well. I could get the general designs, but couldn't go. And then we started upgrading to different types of materials, different types of stencils, got into this photoresist process, and we're like, okay, that's the cat's meow. And then over the past 3 years, I've just mastered it. But yeah, we started out making things for people for Christmas as gifts. And then those people that got the gifts wanted to know who made them and started asking us to make them for them and giving us money. And after doing that a couple hundred times, I'm like, you know what? I could probably do this for a living, and I love doing it.
Typically, we find out what the customer wants in picking out the stones, what they want on their thing, and how big they want it. Then I come outside, come get the rock that they like, after going getting it answered down. Then I go out and mark everything down, see what their measurements they want, and I go over and score it to the size that they need.
Once you've got that cut, what do you do next?
Depending on what the customer wants, if she wants it shiny, bright, as much as a mirror, I go down, I get a coarse cut, then I go from 50 grit down to 10,000 grit, depending with how much and how far I want to go. I go 50, 100, 200, 400, and so on.
You're gonna let me have a go at this.
Yep.
What do I need to look out for? What do I need to be careful of?
Getting too close. When you pick up the glass, make sure you pick it up in your left hand. Hopefully you're right-handed.
I am not, but
You're not.
that's
Well,
okay.
I can switch that really quick.
Oh, well, could you? That might make my life easier.
So I'm going to give you a few more inches of hose here. Let's see. I need.
So then in this case, I would pick it up with my right hand.
You're going to pick up the glass with your right hand. When you pick it up, you're going to want to pick it up from the sides, holding the tape. Get that turned down.
Okay.
So you're going to pick it up like this. When you start, you're going to want to start about here and bring it up to the glass.
Okay.
Not that close, about this far away is going to be ideal. And then you're just going to do a really quick over it. If it looks like the sand is not coming out, you can plug the nozzle with your finger for a few seconds, and what that does is it'll clear the blockage.
Okay.
What happens sometimes is the sand gets bound up in there, and there's a little bit of moisture, and it'll bind it up. It doesn't happen very often, but I have noticed it today. I think there's more humidity in the air today, so it's really doing a number on the sand.
Okay.
But yeah, pick it up with this hand. Make sure you have a hold of that first, and then I can go ahead and turn this on so you have both your hands in the cabinets ready to go.
Perfect.
And then that way you just bring it down in once you get the stream is steady and go in the same direction. And then you're just going to need to go over it once really quick, and then once just a little bit slower, and you're done.
Okay.
It's a pretty fast process on glass.
Check it out. I did that myself.
See, now you have something to show up.
And cleanly.
Yeah, it looks
very
pretty
clean.
good. Look at that now. I'm all proud of myself.
There you go. You like to make that, you know? I love teaching, so I love helping out. So.
Well, I appreciate it. Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to show me what you do. This is an incredible process. How can people get a hold of you?
They can contact me either my cell phone, which is 208-520-5080. Look up A&W Engraving almost anywhere online. You can find me, or just typing in engraving. I come up just below Wikipedia on search engines, so I am definitely out there. A&W Engraving is the main one to search, but I have done special SEO optimization, so I try to make it so people can find me anywhere they want. Facebook is where I post 90% of my photos. I have a website, Etsy store, Amazon store, eBay store, and a Bazooka store, and Shopify here in a few days.
Sounds great.
Yep.
Okay, well, thank you so much. It's a
Appreciate
pleasure
it.
to meet you.
Thank you.
Pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for coming.